Hey everybody, Mr. Taylor here. Let's take one final look as far as what we're gonna, as far as the videos on similar figures. I have four really good problems for us to take a look at and see can we work through them. Remember, take notes, because matter of fact, I know I am. I'm gonna follow this up with something for you to work and submit. So, problem one says a 25-foot tall flagpole casts a 20-foot shadow, and if a man with a height of 6 feet stands nearby, what will be the length of his shadow? A little bit different from what we did period 7 and 8 when we went out and measured the actual height of the flagpole at school. Here we want to find if we know that, what is the person's shadow, and I think that's a good thing that we need to look at here coming up. Can we do that and see, can it predict how tall you guys are? So now we want to make sure that when we write our proportion that we make sure that we have foot as far as the height and the shadow. So we want to make sure heights and shadows align with each other. So what I'm looking at is 25. The height of the flagpole is 25, and I'm gonna just go ahead and put my equal sign here. And also, we know that the height of the man is 6. So you see, I have them directly across from each other. And let's go ahead and finish up my proportion. And the flagpole casts a 20-foot shadow. We don't know how much the length of the man's shadow, so we're gonna use X. Now, remember we say let's always work on these shortcuts. We can go 20 and 6 and 25 and X if you choose, or we can also reduce this to 5/4 and then solve. But since we have it, let's just go ahead and dance with who brought us. So here, cross multiplying 25x is going to equal to 6 times 20 is 120. Think about 6 times 2 and then adding a 0 to make sure your math is good. Then we're going to divide by 25. And dividing by 25 means that 25 will become 1. So just keep in mind that that's going to give us 1x, and we can always write x by itself, because whenever there's a variable with no number in front of it, we call that number a coefficient. That number is always 1. So now we're trying to figure out how many 25s in 120. Well, we definitely know that there's 4, because we can think about 4 quarters and a dollar. So there's 4, but we have a remainder of 20 over 25. So let's just go up here and look at 20 over 25 and think about how that can be reduced. Well, both 0 and 5, so we can divide by 5. And if we can divide by 5, that will reduce 5 into 20 goes 4 times, and 25 5 times. So we're looking at 4.4 and 4/5 feet. Okay, that takes care of the number 1. Now let's scroll down and take a look at number 2. It's a little bit different problem, but I think you'll definitely get the gist of it. It says rectangle ABCD is similar to rectangle JKLM, and it's also said that if rectangle ABCD has a perimeter of 20 inches. Oh boy, I did it again. Find the perimeter of the rectangle JKLM. Okay, so what I want to do here is, I'm not going to speculate. I'm not going to set up a proportion. What I'm going to do is use the formula for a perimeter. And a perimeter formula is, for a rectangle, 2L plus 2W. So they're giving us some information. They're telling us that 20 is the perimeter, and we don't know the length, so we're going to put it back at 2L. But we do know the width, and which is 4. So if it's 4 over here, this is a rectangle, it's 4 on the other side. So that'll give us 2 times 4. And of course, we will wind up with 20 is equal to 2L plus 8. And now, as you guys do in science, we talk about these scales and equilibrium. Now, this is an equation, so we must keep it equal. We want to get all of the numbers on one side and the letters on the other. So 2L we want to keep over here. So let's just put equal 2L. We want to keep that over there. But we need to get 8 from over here. It's being added. So that word opposite comes to play now. So what's the opposite of addition? Right, subtraction. So if we subtract 8 from this side, it go away, leaves it with 0. And subtracting 8 from 20 gives us 12. And if we divide by 2, we see that 6 is equal to the length. So if 6 is the length and goes here, then we know that the perimeter does indeed turns out to 2 times 4, which is 8, plus 2 times 6, which is 12, and 8 plus 12 does equal 20. Okay, so we did get that correct. Now we can use this to set up a proportion for our problem here. So what we are looking at is AD and JM. And so if we look at AD and JM, we also looking at AB and JK. Okay, so let's start off with AB over JK. So AB is 6, right? And of course JK is 21, so I'm setting up my proportion here, and that's equal to we have AD is 4. Notice that I used the same proportion here, starting with the small one going to the large one, and they're asking us, well, actually we need to find what is JM. So we can't find what JM. We can actually, but let's put X there to do so. Cross multiplying, we're going to get 6X is equal to 4 times 21 is 84. And again, if we divide by 6, then we will get X is equal to 14. So now that tells me that this side is 14. So what would be our, and if you don't mind, I notice that this part here is actually set aside for the area, but I'm going to work the problem in here so we can see what we're talking about. So we say that the perimeter is 2L plus 2W, so that's going to be P is equal to 2 times 21 plus 2 times 14, and 2 times 21 is 2, that's P is 42 plus 28, and that gives us our perimeter for the large one, and that's what they're asking for. JKLM, what is the perimeter? 70. Okay. Good job. Good job. Excellent. Put a check mark there. I like that. Okie dokie. Change this to black. Now, number 3. Number 3 talks about a former president, President Eisenhower. It says he signed an executive order in 1959 declaring that the width to length of an American flag must be 1.19, 1 to 1.9. So we're talking about a ratio here of 1 to 1.9. And it says that if a flag is being manufactured with a length of 47.6 feet, what is its width? So I'm going to put this off on the side, that this is the width to length. So they're telling us that the new flag that they're constructing has a length of 47.6, 47 feet 6 inches is 47, 6 inches is half, and we don't know what that is, so we're going to put X. So what we'll do is we will cross multiply, and we'll get 1.9x is equal to 47.5, and you might want to do some division here. 475 is what I'm going to use, because I know I have that decimal there. I can't divide by 1.9, so I have to move it one. So I need to move it one inside too. Voila! So dividing by 1.9, and I have x is equal to 25. So the actual width of the flag will be 25 feet. Okay, looking good. Looking good. Let's take a look at the last problem. And the last problem almost gives us a composite figure. I guess we could call it that if we want to just really think ahead for what's coming. So we have two triangles, and they are embedded. Triangle LMN is similar to PQ or PMQ. Let me make sure that you understand exactly what I'm talking about. What I'm saying is this particular LMN is one triangle, and PMQ is another triangle. So as long as you definitely understand that. Now, what we want to do is make sure that what the author is asking us to do is to find what is the length of the side MN. MN, that's what they're asking us. Now we have it for MQ, but we don't have a length for MN. That's what they're asking us to do. So what we want to do, we have enough here to set up a proportion so we can actually solve it. So I'm looking at L and N, and I say that it is corresponding to PQ. So let's just go ahead and set this up so you can see it. So LN and PQ, and what we're looking at next will be, since we have LN first, so we will go with MN, keeping them in sequence, MN, and it is corresponding to MQ. Okay, did I say it in order? I'm trying to hope that I did say, yeah, and I did. Yeah, M come for everything. Yeah, M come for Q. Now, let's put the numbers in. So putting the numbers in here, what we have for, let's see, LN is 4, and PQ is 3, and for MN is, we don't know, and for MQ it's 4.5. Now, all we got to do is cross multiply. 3 times x gives us 3x is equal to 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times 5 is 20, but that's a 0.5. So that's 16 plus 2 and 18. I'm just using some short math there. If you want to just multiply 4 times 4.5, you still get 18. We're going to divide by 3. And again, as we just stated, dividing by 3 will mean 1x is equal to 6. So what we're looking at is this particular length. MN is 6 centimeters. All right. Congratulations.